Mississippi State hasn't been the same since Mike Leach's passing, and today we're going to get back to that era. We are adding a superstar to the Mississippi State Bulldogs until they win a national championship. We will also be going back to Leach's air raid system and only passing in the games that we play. We will also be playing in the updated SEC with Texas and Oklahoma. This is going to be one of our more challenging superstar videos. Mississippi State is in the SEC, and our non-conference schedule is also very difficult. Year one goes about expected. We finished 2-10, and the stats are pretty predictable. Our passing attack struggles mightily with a dual threat. Rushing attack is mostly non-existent. The pass catchers could use a little bit of upgrade, and our defense also struggled a little bit too. As usual, we are going to the wheel to get a team, and we get Tulane. So we're going to take Patrick Jenkins. I think that he's going to be a good addition on the interior of our defensive line, should be able to help us in run support. Year two, Blake Corum wins the Heisman Trophy. And as we can see, LSU wins the SEC. They also win the national championship game. Our passing attack took a step back. Our production was not good. Same with our rushing attack. We need to get better on both sides of the ball, and it's not going to happen right away, but so far it's not looking good. Next on the wheel, we get Michigan. That's a huge upgrade for our secondary as we are selecting Will Johnson. He is a big corner who's going to be able to shut down opposing wide receivers. That will be huge later in this video. And as you can see, even against FCS opponents, we are struggling to get stops and put away teams that are worse than us. Ollie Gordon from Oklahoma State wins the Heisman Trophy. Will Johnson already is making an impact as he breaks a school record for interceptions. LSU wins the SEC again. Kansas State wins the national championship. Passing attack is the same as year two. Not very good. Next up is Cal. We're actually going to take Jaden Ott. I think that he's a reliable pass catcher out of the backfield. He's a good running back. Again, in the games that we play, we're not going to run, but as a pass catcher, he's going to be a great addition. Let's see how we stack up against an SEC team. Our passing attack is okay. And Jay Knott actually is making an impact early on. A nice pass catcher, like I said. Good jukes, good agility, his ability to pick up plays, create space on his own. Again, our passing attack can get on the board. And late in the fourth quarter, we are trying to make a drive here. And on 4th and 21, we have to chuck it up. And Auburn picks it off to win the game. It's a better season for us as we finish 5-7. Still a struggle, though. Alabama wins the SEC, and Washington comes away with the national championship. Our passing attack is better. We throw for over 3,400 yards, 26 touchdowns. Mike Wright is doing a good job. We have a receiver over 1,000 yards for the first time. But again, we still need upgrades. Next in the wheel is Notre Dame. We're going to take safety Xavier Watts. Had a huge season for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish last year. He is a great addition to our secondary, in addition to Will Johnson. A team that won the national championship earlier in this video, the Kansas State Wildcats, are on the schedule, and right now they are just torching our secondary. Yes, we got some upgrades, but we need some help. The rushing attack is very lethal for Kansas State, and missed tackles are a problem for our defense. We are up 7-0, but a big-time touchdown to start the game for Kansas State ties things up, and ultimately it's too much for us to handle. Again, a combination of our offense not being able to score points in addition to our defense not getting enough stops is leading to some really bad losses. You see, we lost to Vanderbilt. We are getting crushed by teams because we can't put points on the board. As you can see, 4 of those games we score single digits, and now a 5th game against Ole Miss. It's just not looking good, and that leads us to a 1-11 finish. A surprising Heisman Trophy winner, Marquez Cooper from Ball State. Oklahoma wins the SEC, and Ohio State is going to take the national championship this year. Wright has an okay season, over 3,000 yards. Again, this is very mediocre for the most part. As we saw, the offense was not very good. The next 2 seasons kind of go as expected. Wisconsin's Jack Nelson gets added, which helps us go to 5-7. But again, we're not making a bowl game. And we get Colorado State's Torrey Horton, who is a good addition, but he's going to need some help as we finish the year 4-8. Ultimately, we're going to need a quarterback, and we're going to get one here with Miami's Cam Ward, a good fit into this offense. He is an air raid quarterback. I believe he's a great fit. He's going to do that at Miami this year, and he can do that for Mississippi State. A big game as we're ranked. This is a good start to our season. We face number 11 Notre Dame, and we'll see how things go. As you can see, our passing attack is very good. Torrey Horton getting involved late in the game as we're down 14-10. We are driving here, trying to get into the end zone to take the lead, but ultimately we are going to have to settle for a field goal down 1. Ultimately, we don't score enough points, and our defense can't get a stop late in the game. as Notre Dame is going to pick up a first down here as we don't have timeouts and we lose. The effective Cam Ward is already showing as our offense is scoring 40 and 50 plus points in games. About halfway through the season, we are 6-1. We're number 10 in the country, and it's really due to Cam Ward. Big games there, but ultimately our defense is not able to get stops. Our offense can't put up points, although we do score here late in the game, but Texas takes this to us in a 51-14 loss. We also make it into the SEC championship game, but come up short against Missouri 36-28. Ward is making an impact. He finishes third in the Heisman Trophy rankings. We break some records as Torrey Horton has a huge year, as does Cam Ward, breaks a couple of school records, and we're seeing a difference in our season. We need to add some talent at wide receiver, like I said, so we're going to get Arizona's Teteroa McMillan, a big wide receiver who is very capable of making big plays deep downfield. We get our season started against the number 2 Michigan Wolverines, Will Johnson's former team, and Cam Ward is getting things started. He finds McMillan early in the game, and our passing attack is pretty much going to take it from here. Ward's ability to escape the pocket is really helpful here as he's rolling out and finding guys downfield. We're 15-0, and we find another touchdown, 32-7, and our passing attack just can't be stopped. Heading late into the season, we face Ole Miss, our rival. It's a top 15 matchup, and early in the game, we get on the board first. Tied at 14 as we head towards the end of the first half. We find Robinson over the middle, and we do punch it in to go up 21-14. Ole Miss does respond with a touchdown to tie it at 21, and Jackson Dart is absolutely shredding our defense in the second half. Pre-scoring gets in there, and with a 35-27 lead, Ole Miss gets a sack. They pick up the fumble for a touchdown. We're still seeing improvement, though, as Cam Ward does win the Heisman Trophy. That's a great addition for us. 11-3 finish once again. Back to the wheel, and we get Ohio State. We're going to add another wide receiver in Emeka Egbuka. That is another good receiver, and we have a trio now of Emeka Egbuka, Teteroa McMillan, and Torrey Horton. Early in the season, we faced the number 9 Clemson Tigers. Again, switching up that non-conference schedule makes things a lot tougher. We are down 17-14, but Emeka Egbuka is coming up big with a deep ball there, a nice jump ball, and Horton is finding ball over the middle, nearly breaks a couple tackles to get in the end zone, and Cam Ward is just shredding this defense at a clutch moment, 21-17, and Clemson is trying to make a comeback here. They are moving the ball well down the field with 1:20 left in the game. Cade Klubnik is going to pick up some big yards here as he gets inside the 10, and he does eventually find Collins over the middle for a touchdown. We're down by 3. We need a big play, and we go back to Egbuka. A big-time threat comes through in the clutch. Ward does take a sack, though, on the next play, but he does respond with a nice throw to McMillan. Again, these additions at wide receiver are huge for us. Ward has a big game for 45-4, and we do win. It doesn't get easier, though, as we face number 6, Florida State. We are down 24-21, and Ward finds a receiver in the end zone for a clutch touchdown. Horton adds to it, and we are just taking it to Florida State in the fourth quarter. Cam Ward, a huge addition, and McMillan is just shredding them. Big game against LSU as we are a top 10 team, number 9 in the country. We are up 31-24, and McMillan is able to catch it over the middle and takes it from there. We are able to come away with a huge 38-31 win over the number 1 team in the country. It doesn't end there. As we move up to number 3, we face the number 9 Alabama Crimson Tide, again, teams that have won the national championship and the SEC in previous videos, and our defense actually is coming up clutch as Xavier Watts gets an interception, and we hold Bama to 3 points in a low-scoring affair, but a huge win for us nonetheless. We are all the way up to number 1 in the country. We face the number 13 Ole Miss Rebels, a rivalry game that surely will test us, and we're down 14-7, but once again, the passing attack is going to get us tied at 14. An interception by Will Johnson, another great addition to this team. And as we head into halftime, we're up 17-14. The second half is pretty much going to go our way. We get a touchdown there, and we win the game 45-14. A game that we played in last season is the SEC championship game, but we head into this one undefeated. And Oklahoma is going to get things started in the fourth quarter with a field goal. On the ensuing drive, Cam Ward's looking downfield and takes a big hit. Rondo Bothroyd is going to pick it up, and he is going to run it all the way back to make it 28-26, and a two-point conversion here is going to tie the game up with over 2 minutes left. Cam Ward looking downfield, a simple hitch route, and McMillan breaks a tackle. Does he have enough speed to the end zone? Yes, he does. We are up 35-28, but Oklahoma responds again with under 20 seconds. 15 seconds left in the game. We just need a field goal and get things started with a nice pass to Torrey Horton. 10 seconds left. We need to get the ball in field goal range, but we take a sack. But on the ensuing play, we find Egbuka wide open and ultimately kick a field goal as time expires to get us the SEC championship. Ward wins yet another Heisman Trophy, our second of the video, and we head into the national championship game against the #2 Wisconsin Badgers. Can our passing attack uphold? And we get things started with a big touchdown. Defensively, we're off to a strong start as we force Wisconsin into some tough throws, and they're all incomplete as we force a 3-and-out. From there, our passing attack absolutely destroys Wisconsin. McMillan scores there. Ward finds Egbuka over the middle for a 21-0 lead, and our tight end here makes two guys miss a nasty juke to get us in the end zone at a 28-0 lead. It's ultimately enough. We have a big win for Mississippi State and win the national championship. Who do you want to see next in this video? Do you like this series? Who would you like to see? What superstars would you like to see added to the next team? Make sure you comment below, and as always, subscribe to the channel.